Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share a layout that I created with my March 2020 Counterfeit Kit Challenge kit. Now, this photo is of my granddaughter Shawnee and it's from 2014, so it's been a while ago. She's such a tiny little girl in this one. And so, yeah, it's looking at these photos of her when she was that young. Oh my gosh, it just brings back so many memories. But anyway, this kit was based on two little collections that I had. One was Felicity Jane, the other was a Cheeky Studio collection. And so you see here, I've got the Cheeky Studio papers out, and they had a fall theme and some different fall embellishments and such. I'm not using them for that. I'm using them basically as solid papers to create this layout. And so here, my background paper, the white paper, I'm just going over and using the center of it to cut out a border for my photo. And then I've cut that paper down just a little bit so that it's going to go onto the background. And I'll lay that out there. And yes, it does have that little mushroom and floral bit there, but I'm going to cover those up. And the back side of that yellow paper is also an autumn type paper. And so I just cut out the yellow and it's going right over the top. So you can't even tell. So, and then I have this dark blue paper. I think it's a two-tone. One side is very dark blue. The other side is a lighter dark blue. And so I am going to add that across the middle there. And I've got that scrap piece of paper. It is left over from a 6x6 paper pad that I did it was a Christmas paper in a Christmas stack, and I didn't use it. And so it's been in my scrap bin, and so I pulled it into this layout to use. And I'm looking at this, and I'm not liking that blue on top of the yellow, and I want more of the yellow to show. So I just peel everything up and tuck it back behind there, and voila. Now I'm going to take a couple of my washi strips and put along the bottom here just to add some additional layers to this layout. Doesn't that sound fun? Additional layers to the layout. So yeah, I go there and I just tuck them on. And then I put a different one at the top. I love these Freckled Fawn kits because you get these washi strips, and even though they're not a true 6x6, you can still, if you're creating a layout like this, you can still make it work. Now, I like that better for some reason. And then I add my photo there. And then I'll play around a lot. Those are some leftover scraps of paper that I pulled into this kit. I had pulled in a ton of random scraps from my scrap bin to try and get used up. And so those are a couple of bits and pieces, as is that star paper. And I'm trying to be more diligent about adding in scraps to my kits recently. Only because for a while there I got away from it. And so when the scraps start to build up and the area that I have them in gets so tight that you can't fit anything else in them, you know it's time to use some up. And so that's what I've been doing recently. A while ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer than that, I took a color from my scrap bags, my smaller scrap bags that I keep right beside my workstation, my desk, and it was a blue color, and then I made tons and tons of cards with all of my blue scraps. And I'm almost tempted to do that with some of the colors. I really build up certain colors in my scraps, and so using up a color like that to create stuff is so fun. So there I have the part of the title, and it is Dreamer. And I used that font that came from Felicity Jane, and it's a puffy alphabet. Not my favorite. only because I feel like I can't get it lined up. You know what I mean? And that's the die cut there that says beautiful. And so I feel like even though it's supposed to be a wonky up and down title, it always feels like it's too uneven. And here I have gone through and I have put a title, my journaling basically on, used the letter stickers that I have in, the little tile stickers, and I put out, never stop believing in the power of your dreams. It's just a quote from who knows where, but it's one that is absolutely pertaining to this photo. It's one of those days when she had just woken up, and so she kind of sits around and looks at the world like it's, in such a daze. It's a brand new day, and yeah. So this little embellishment here that I'm adding on, it is actually a little girl that I stamped, and Shawnee actually colored that girl. And so I'm putting it onto this layout just to represent her because she colored it, and so I feel like she made it similar to her, so what she would like. And I feel like the yellow, even though the orangey color did not go so well with the layout, that's okay. It has yellow on it. The layout has yellow. And I didn't really have any orange to make it. I guess I did have some orange, but nothing that made it feel right when I was pulling papers and such for this. And so you can see here, this is my method. I go through and I pull my embellishments out and I start, fiddling around with them to see what I want to use and where I want to use it. I've got that little tag there that I put down, and I'll put the date, I believe, on that. And so I use some of those vellum word phrases around. I'm looking at all the different bits and pieces that I have. There's a lot of fall themed layouts in here with that Cheeky Studio kit. Yeah. So I made these little punched out circles with a scrap piece of paper, and I added some tags to them just as looking to see how they would work as embellishments. And so, yeah, here I'm going to go through and I'm going to add into 3 clusters these little circles along with the little tags that I pulled out. That was a scrap piece of paper that I added to the layout. And I just went through and I got my newest punch. It's a Martha Stewart scallop circle, and just punched those out with it. And so I'm just still going through here and adding different things, the labels and the stickers. Yeah. Now I'm looking at those little chipboard shapes. Now I think I want to add one to each embellishment cluster to make it work, to get some more of these embellishments on here. I did not glue those down as yet. They are kind of stuck together because I had them on a flat sheet of paper a la RTS method. Yeah, that's not for me. I like to ruffle around through my embellishments, so I didn't like that method at all. So I peeled them all off. So these have adhesive all over them on the back side. It's not permanent adhesive. It's temporary adhesive, and it's dot adhesive. So, but they still stick together quite a bit, even though I have powdered the back side where any adhesive might have been. Yeah, I think it's just the nature of having a warmer room. It kind of re-stimulates that adhesive to get sticky again. Or maybe I'm just dreaming. I don't know. So I'm going through and I'm looking at my different floral bits and pieces from this collection and deciding if I want to try and use any of them here. Because I used that floral cluster there, the little vase with the flowers in it by the title, I'm just looking through to see if I want to use additional floral bits and pieces around the rest of the layout. And some of these are working terrific. You cannot necessarily tell that they are fall themed, which suits me really well. I try and be use things around layouts, regardless of whether they are categorized as seasonal or different themes. I try to be diligent about using them regardless. So here I'm using those brads. I've had those brads in my stash for a long time, and I have pulled them into multiple kits, and so I love it when I can finally get some of them used up. And here I am. I'm, making these little poking holes in my paper to put these brads through so that I can get them used up. I've nearly used one entire sheet of them, and hopefully with this kit, I'm pretty sure I do get that last one used up. And yeah, so as I'm adding these brads and enamel dots, I know I'm getting to the end because those are my finishing touches. I just want to say thanks to everybody who has shown up to watch my video and stuck around and watched it. I appreciate you guys. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for continually showing up and supporting my channel, even when I haven't been diligent about posting layouts. I really appreciate you guys for being here, especially during this time in our world when it's easy to get disassociated from others because we've lost contact because of social isolation. Anyway, if you're new to subscribe or new to the channel, I would love for you to subscribe so that you can see other videos that I create using my stash. And I hope to inspire you to get into your stash and create. If you would like to flip me a thumbs up, I would absolutely love that. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching my video today, and I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.